からのジャンピンターン。
始めました日本。俺が
凪清志郎だ。
From being the best player ever in Blue Lock to now literally begging for a spot in Buratsura's Pig Trio.
Please, me, I need this! My mom is kind of homeless.
Nagi Seishirou's story in Blue Lock is honestly one of the craziest examples of wasted potential. You'd never expect a player like him to have a downfall, since most shonen protagonists nowadays usually have a development in their story, but Nagi, he was the complete opposite. From the very beginning, he's that player who could do absolutely insane things without even trying. Pick up a ball for the first time and he pulls off a scorpion trap roulette volley that leaves everyone around him, pros and amateurs alike, completely shocked and speechless. And Nagi, he doesn't even blink. He's completely disinterested. Talent like that, sitting in a guy who would rather play video games, stare at his cactus, sleep, eat, and generally just exist, well, it turns out that it's actually both a gift and a curse. He had zero ambition, virtually zero. Motivation, almost non-existent. The first thing to realize about Nagi is that being born a prodigy doesn't automatically make life easier. In his case, it just sets an impossible standard he doesn't care to meet. His life could easily be worse than everyone I've mentioned in my previous videos, even worse than say Itoshi or Kaiser. To begin with, Nagi's life outside of soccer is honestly kind of sad when you think about it. He lives alone in a small apartment, the kind of place where the walls feel like they're closing in, but you barely notice because you spend most of your time sprawled on the couch, half asleep, half gaming, and mostly avoiding anything remotely productive. There's no family checking in, no siblings annoying him, no friends dropping by, just him and his cactus. This tiny, silent little green companion that somehow survives despite Nagi's complete lack of attention. He doesn't cook, he barely cleans, and his daily routine is basically wake, snack, nap, scroll, repeat. Sometimes he talks to the cactus, or at least mumbles at it, like it might actually respond, and in a weird way, it's the only steady presence in his life. The rest of the world could crumble, people could yell at him, and Nagi would probably just not care at all, because he's been living in this carefree world for so long that the idea of needing anyone else doesn't even register. Although his backstory wasn't deeply mentioned, we could roughly just guess a potential divorce in his parents, and let's just say nobody wants Nagi, so yeah, he's just there. However, his talents weren't alone like his life, because Ryo Mikage eventually comes and sees this insane potential he possesses immediately. Ryo wants to win the World Cup, and Nagi is the perfect wildcard. Insane natural talent, untapped potential, and a body that seems designed to execute the impossible. When they first met, Nagi pulls off a crazy 360 no-scope trap into his phone, which honestly is just insane if you think about it. No wonder our boy Ryo saw this and immediately wanted to invest in him. Like, bro knew the stocks were about to go high. But Nagi isn't interested in Ryo's dream. He's not motivated by fame, records, or even the idea of victory itself. Initially, he just moved along, riding the wave of Ryo's ambition. The first time on the field, he's doing those scorpion trap volleys alongside bicycle kicks like it's casual practice. Everyone around loses their minds watching him, and Nagi, he's bored. He wants to go home. Ryo delivers his big speeches about ego, being the best in the world, and greatness, and Nagi is mentally checking out the whole time. But his skill keeps drawing attention, and no matter how much he ignores it, the world won't let him stay silent. The first real sense of self-motivation comes against Baru's team. Before that, Nagi is mostly just a passenger, doing what Ryo wants without thinking about what he wants. But Baru the goat basically calls him boring, a mindless servant, someone who's only there to feed Ryo's passes. And that hits Nagi. For the first time, he does something not out of laziness or obedience, but for himself. He explodes down the field like a bullet, doing some of the craziest plays, and even does the iconic heel tap, mocking Baru and showing that he can do more than just follow someone else's plan. It's the first moment Nagi fights for himself, rather than riding along with Ryo's dream. That moment sets the stage for what we could call his ego awakening, even if it's just a spark at first. The fire really grows in the Team Z matches, eventually leading to his showdown with Yoichi Isagi. That was the real moment something changed in Nagi. He experiences a real competition for the first time, and it's overwhelming. The stakes are high, every movement counts, and he starts to feel the thrill of the game as something more than a casual challenge. He pulls off near 90-degree spin shots, dodges defenders like they're nothing, and begins to feel alive in a way he hasn't before.
Those guys were lame. They were actually cool. Blame my curiosity. It can't be stopped. I want a challenge.
I'm changing. It feels weird, but it's fun. I want a goal, he thinks. For the first time, Nagi has a taste of true drive, of ego, of wanting something not because someone else said so, but because he actually cares. Then, as if the universe wanted to teach him a lesson, he gets completely shredded by Isagi's last play. That loss wasn't like your regular defeat, because it's a match where Nagi had full confidence of winning and he literally thought this was gonna be a free win. The way he got completely outplayed despite trying his hardest at the end just made him pissed off. Nagi even mentioned that feelings felt miserable, which honestly just showed how he never lost in a really long time and things were about to shift. You might think the suffering is probably going to end here, but no. It's about to get way worse, like 10 times worse. Sure, he did pull off crazier goals later on, like the famous 5-stage volley goal against Kaiser and Isagi, or the viral U20 match goal where he just completely changed the aura of the game. But deep down, it still wasn't enough. He was always chasing the same frustration he held back then against Isagi and treated him as a rival he had to overcome. The Nagi spin-off chapter reveals that he literally started seeing things like a phantom Isagi. When I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked and speechless. That single detail showed how desperate Nagi was to defeat Isagi, and when he finally pulled off that goal, it marked an even bigger downfall, as Ego Jinpachi himself mentioned. Sure, I thought he might have some troubles and probably climbing up later on, but no. Dude was straight up eliminated from the Neo Egoist League program due to the consistent terrible performance, as he kind of just lost his ego. After the Neo Egoist League ended, dude didn't just lose a game, he kinda lost himself. Everyone expected him to keep going up, to keep breaking limits, but instead he just fell. And not in a funny, goofy fall kind of way, more like the quiet, sad kind where you just stop caring because everything starts feeling pointless. The last part of the Neo Egoist League really showed how much he changed, and not exactly for the better. Like, remember that match against Bacha? Everyone thought it was gonna be his comeback moment. Nagi and Ryo teaming up again, the dream duo back on the field, but instead of going full prodigy mode, he hesitated. He second-guessed himself, made a bad pass, and just like that, gone. Manshine City lost, and Nagi's rank dropped out of the top 23. And the saddest part is how numb he looked afterward. Fans online were saying it's not even about the match, it's about how empty he felt. After that big moment when he beat Isagi before, it's like he locked himself in that memory and refused to move forward. That one win gave him this false sense of, yeah, I made it, when really he was just scratching the surface. He didn't evolve, he just got comfortable. That's probably the biggest sin in Blue Lock, right? Getting too comfy, losing your edge. He started playing like he was scared to lose what little he had instead of fighting for more. Then came the whole trying to come back phase. You can really tell he wanted to fix things, but no matter how hard he tried, it just wasn't enough. The fact that he actually went back to the Blue Lock facility, hanging around outside like some ghost of the past, hoping someone would call his name. Imagine that. The same guy who used to light up the field, now standing in the shadows, waiting for permission to exist again. Ryo's already moved on and literally blocked him, the only person that genuinely cared about him. He had to stay in the shadows, looking at rivals he used to fight side by side. One example is Isagi. He just keeps climbing higher than ever, and Nagi's just there, stuck between regret and denial, like he's reliving that one super goal in his head every night, just to remind himself he was someone once. Everywhere he goes, he can't even forget about this past life, even if he tries to. There's billboards of players he once considered rivals. The pain was just crazy. And that's where all the villain Nagi theories start coming from. Fans online are saying that maybe this whole downfall isn't the end, it's his reset. You know that one moment in every story where the hero's too good for too long and then he snaps? Yeah, that's Nagi right now. He tried to be a hero. He wanted to be the guy who beat Isagi and stood tall at the top, but that dream crashed hard. And when your dream dies but your ego doesn't, that's when you start turning into something else. He's not evil or anything, but there's a bitterness building up in him. That quiet, I'll show you all type of vibe. The kind that turns geniuses into monsters. The arcade reference some fans made is so on point too. They said Nagi's like that dude who keeps putting coins into a broken machine, hoping one more play will finally pay off. Every time he plays as a hero, he loses badly, but when he switches to another character that's more villain-like, he wins. That's just next level foreshadowing of what's about to come. And honestly, the part that hurts the most is that he really did try. Like, yeah, he's lazy and unmotivated, but there's a difference between not caring and caring so much you're scared to fail again. He wanted to come back strong, to be that cool-headed prodigy again, But when you're surrounded by people like Isagi and Rin, who are obsessed with becoming the best, that tiny spark in Nagi just doesn't burn as bright. He's self-aware enough to know he's falling behind, and that eats him alive. Fans on Reddit and Twitter are even saying that Nagi's story might not end with him returning as a hero at all. We all know Buratsura, you know, the shady Blue Lock exec, might recruit Nagi for his own selection, basically turn him into a weapon to fight against Ego's players. Imagine that, the chill prodigy who used to hate effort, now pushed so far down that he comes back as a rival to everything he once stood for. It's in a messed up way, he'd be doing it out of frustration, not passion, trying to destroy the world that forgot him just so he can feel something again. So yeah, his Neo-Egoist League downfall isn't just about soccer. He loses his entire personality and purpose that Rio built up for him, and by the time he realizes it, it was already too late. But who knows, he might return as a bigger threat than ever, and people are even saying he's going to overtake Isagi as the better protagonist. But if you liked our video so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We post some bangers every once in a while. As always, peace out and see you in the next one.